Hello, Tracy Kaywood, again from the Penthouse Lounge in Jacksonville Beach. I'm starting to feel like a news broadcaster. Is my mic on? There it is. Okay. Important announcement to make. The Sims launch is finally over as of today. I can't believe it. I thought it was never going to end. I must have gotten at least 50 emails in the last week. And the sad part is I don't even know what it even was. But I just wanted to read this one email that I got, because I sent an email out that was titled, "What Do I Have That Sims Don't?" And that was the information you need to make a living wholesaling houses at zero cost, because I don't charge you anything for information. I just share it with you for free. And by the way, you can ask me a question anytime using the website propertymob.com. Click on Ask a Question and I'll answer it for you. But I did get this email, which was really awesome. It says, "Great email. I've probably gotten 30 emails from them this week talking about Sims, and a phone call from them, and when I asked them some specific questions on why I should pay for their service, they couldn't answer me. They've gone way past awareness and are now on the annoying end of the spectrum." So that is that's sad that they couldn't even answer the question of why you should pay for the service, which, does anybody know what it was? Anyway, if you know what it was, send me an email, theflamingo@propertymob.com, and tell me, because I don't even know. Anyway, we are the makers of Badass Investors, and I'm here this week to answer your questions about wholesaling real estate. Got my new skin on my iPad this week. Got my computer fixed from the cat spilling the water in it, so I'm good to go. Good to go this week. Okay, first question is from Van Williams. He's in Virginia. His question is, in what ways can a newbie investor find buyers? And that's a good question. Even if you have a house or not for sale, you should always be building a buyer's list, Van. And you could do that by advertising a house that you have for sale. It can be a real one or a virtual one that you're going to acquire in the near future. It's really, you market properties to generate leads for buyers. For instance, we put advertising out that says investor special, cheap, cash, handyman special, 3-1, cash offers only, without an address or specifics. You're really just trying to get people that are interested in those types of properties. So the phone will start to ring and they're going to want to know where the property is located and some more details about it. You can at that point just tell them the property's been sold, but you have new ones coming up, and then ask them questions about what they're looking for. This will help you, determine what kind of buyers you're dealing with, what price ranges they're in, who your real, true buyers are, the locations that they buy properties in, and start to build a list of buyers. Make sure you get their email addresses. That way, when you do get a property for sale, you can send them an email out and let them know that you do have a property now and it meets their criteria. Bam! You got a list of buyers. So you can get on Craigslist and put properties up. You can put bandit signs out. That's our favorite way to generate investor buyer leads. You can advertise all over the internet websites. Facebook has a section for real estate. Anywhere you can generate leads, and the best ways to me are the free ways. So always be advertising for buyers, even if you don't have a real house for sale. So when you do get one, there's no waiting. You don't have to play the waiting game. It should just become part of your ritual, and every single week you put out your marketing to generate buyer leads. The headlines are really the most important part of generating the right kind of buyers, like investor special, handyman, ugly house, cheap, things like that. You don't, if you're a wholesaler, then you want the guys that have cash. Next question is from Mike. He's in Jacksonville, Florida. So right here in my backyard, Mike. Mike says, when you come across an REO and want to wholesale it, can you get around the bank's $1,000 to $1,500 deposit and their request for proof of funds? How do I get my potential buyer into an REO to look at it? And in a nutshell, how do you wholesale an REO? 3 questions to answer here. First, getting around the bank's $1,000 to $1,500 binder deposit, which is a very good question and an obstacle a lot of new investors need to overcome, because the banks are going to require a binder deposit on all of their contracts. Once you start negotiating with the bank as far as the price, and you know you have a number that you can work with, you can start to let it out that you have this property. And you can, if you get some interested buyers and you think that you're going to be able to sell it, then you can secure the deposit from your buyer. Write the contract. You got to have a contract in place before you're able to sell it legally. So how about write the contract up with contingent upon the binder deposit being turned in within 3 days after acceptance. That gives you 3 days leeway to get it out there to your investor buyers, get a potential buyer, and collect a binder deposit. Bam. Now, there's nothing out of your pocket. You can collect a binder deposit from your cash buyer and turn that in. Either way, it's non-refundable. So that's really probably the best way for you if you don't want to use your own cash and you don't feel confident enough putting it under contract and risking your money. Got to speed up a little bit. How do I get a potential buyer into an REO to look at it? Well, I know REOs here in Jacksonville have lockbox combinations, so if you contact the listing agent, most of the time they'll give you the lockbox code. Take them over there, open the lockbox, and show them the property. And in a nutshell, how do you wholesale an REO? I know right now there are some limitations. The bank are putting deed restrictions on where you can't flip the property for 90 days, so be on the lookout for that in their contracts. But it's really, you're going to wholesale it any other way, as you would a contract assignment, same way, except you're going to be required to close on the front end with your own cash or private money. Private investors are going to need some cash for that. There's plenty of them out there. Google it, short-term private money, 24-hour money for REO flips, things like that. A proof of funds, you can go to, I've got a website, I'll put it on the resource page of the website on propertymob.com, where you can go, put in the information for the property, and get a proof of funds letter that you can use to submit with your offer. So hopefully that helps you out with the REOs. That's it for the questions for this week. I had to speed it up real quick so I could get to them all, but make sure that you ask a question for next week. propertymob.com, click on the right hand side, ask a question, the girl in the maidsy cutesy outfit, and it'll come to me. I'll make sure to answer it for you next week. Make sure it pertains to wholesaling real estate. Also, again, I ask you to recommend us on Facebook right underneath the video, and bookmark us at your favorite social networking sites. Tell your friends about us, and hopefully you'll be on your way to making more money wholesaling real estate. This is Tracy Kaywood, propertymob.com. We are the makers of badass investors. We'll see you next week.